What's up, guys? Zach and Travis from Cloud Out Studios. So we're in the Quad Cities today. We stopped by QC Vapes. I'm telling you guys, this place is off the chain. We're sitting here in the back right now. Main room's kind of full, customers and stuff. So we slipped out to get somewhere quieter. So what we got going on in front of us here is, as you can see, we got all these mods set up here. All of them have different tanks, different numbers. Then we got our scorecards. So what these guys do is they take flavors, they get sent to them as like possible, hey, you know, keep our flavor in stock, whatever. They let their customers try them, and then they compile all the scorecards together. They go over it. If a flavor is explosively great amongst the customers, then they carry it. It's just something unique. I've never seen any other shop do this. I've never seen a shop like this before, ever. This place is busy as shit right now. But Travis over here, loving it. He's got a new temple today. We'll do a review on that probably here in the next couple of days. We also picked up some reserved, and I got some of that Cloud Chasers Firebomb or something. Some of that. So, but yeah, man, we're out here tearing up some shops. These guys are great. You gotta check them out. It's you dick. It's QC Vapors, Quad Cities Vapes. Wait until you see this shop, guys. It's ridiculous. Travis, anything?
It's top notch. It's top notch.
Top notch, beautiful shop. 5 stars all the way. Look at this interior.
And this is just the lounge.
This is just the little lounge room. Beautiful. These guys are awesome. We're gonna do an interview with Mike, sales associate, and then the owner himself. So we're clouding out. We're clouding out. Yep. Into the vape world. What got you guys all started into this?
Well, Andy, the owner, worked for the new plant, and he was retiring, and he was a smoker, and he got onto his vapes, and he goes, this is something I can really get into, and I would love to help other people make that transition. So him and James opened up this little area right here.
Just this room.
Just this room. And it went like gangbusters. Now, of course, in the last year, 5, 6 more stores have opened.
You guys are
We are. We really are. But as we grew, we realized that we just didn't have enough space to satisfy our customers' needs. We just didn't. This room, imagine with those 3 display cases in here.
And a counter area.
Yeah, so there wasn't enough space. Andy wanted to make a place that people felt comfortable coming in.
I didn't realize that there was.
And you guys hit that spot on. I mean,
Hey, I'm gonna go lunch, so
Is that what it is?
keep an eye on them and hopefully they don't die.
Okay. So that was just the whole concept of it. Andy wanted to help other people. I didn't work here at the time. I actually, you ever see Show Painful?
yeah.
That's what I used to do.
Really?
Yeah, right around the corner.
Make fish tanks and stuff like
Well,
that?
I did all the stuff that goes inside of it. We did some custom stuff.
Wow.
Like the Putnam Museum and
I
stuff.
love that show.
But I was just I was just a customer hanging out. But I was also running interference with them. So they get kind of full of people and they want you guys work. And they got their hands full. So I would just kind of run interference and help people with, say, man, you need to try this or have to check that out, just kind of help them.
That's actually how I got started at working where he was.
Yeah.
I was sitting in there one day, and the store got swamped, and my family, we own a business in Princeton, and it was the same POS system.
Yeah.
So I was like, I know enough about the product.
Right.
So I said to the manager, I said, hey man, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna help you guys out. I jumped behind the counter and just started making sales.
Right.
That night, he's like, you go get your uniform and stuff. He's like, you start mixing them up.
Yep. The other thing I did was I helped train some of the employees on sales techniques. How them all discuss the sale, how to make things more appealing to people, you know. I mean, you know, you can't sell something to somebody else to show it to them, right?
Right.
And so they get customers that come in, they're just interested in juice. Hey man, have you checked this out? You know, we checked out a new thing that we just got in. I mean, absolutely, you have to bring it to them.
You got to put the product in their face.
Yes, absolutely. So that was kind of my role, is to evaluate and show people how to go about doing some of these things. And it was a big success. These guys really are on the stick. They take the time with the customers. You know, we do, when we sell a set to somebody, we bring them over here and we set it up and we make sure that they know how to use it. Without fail, every single time. I don't care who it is. Important. You know?
Exactly. Customer service is big in vaping just because no one knows.
Yes, exactly. It doesn't matter if you're a veteran or not. We said, no, it also gives an opportunity to make sure that the product is working both coasts.
Oh yeah.
You know, before they leave the store.
Now, have you had smokers come in here and they're just like, I don't care about this shit, but I just kind of want to be in here, just check it out.
Every day. Every single day we do. A lot of people make that transition. Once they realize that they're going to get all the things they want from this, that they're doing smoking. And I always use like the drug one of the things I love about smoking, I'm a 30-year smoker, is that throat hit. Once they realize that, I'm just not vaping air, I mean, I'm actually going to get a throat hit, I'm going to have stuff come out, they're all in. So it really is a lack of knowledge that I say that.
Right. Do you prefer like traditional smokers to go out there and tobacco juices, or do you prefer like kind of fruity, juicy?
I want them to go with what they're comfortable with. I try to stay away from tobacco flavors when we only carry a couple, because the idea is to not want to go back to that cigarette.
Right.
So if I can steer them away from that and get them into something, because their minds are blown when they actually start taking
Right.
it.
Because I actually did a couple like surveys just on their friends of mine, my parents, and
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. Is that I found out people that smoke traditional juices that are like tobacco kind of menthol.
Yeah.
Now menthol is a little bit different, but with the people that are doing tobacco juices, they smoked more within a couple weeks than compared to people that did fruits.
Right.
Simply just because in your mindset, it's basically like, hey, this is a new thing. This is what I'm gonna do from now on.
And I always tell people you're never going to find that juice that tastes like a cigarette.
There's no tobacco.
It does not taste like a cigarette. Hi guys. There's no flavor that tastes like a tobacco. There just isn't.
If you want us to watch this,
Yeah, I need to go help them. This is, you know. What's up, fellas?
Another day in paradise. Still breathing, so it's a good day.
So you guys actually came in during a sweet time. You guys is approval. We've actually been filming. We have a YouTube channel.
Cool.
We're vape reviewers. We've been going to all the shops in the Quad Cities today. Meeting people, filming shops, doing interviews with shop owners and stuff. So if you guys are alright, still make sure you can turn it off. So Cloud Mountain Studios, that's where we're at. You guys will be on the episode then.
Cool.
24/6. Our names are Travis and Zach over here.
Cool. Tony?
Nice to meet you, Tony. And what was that?
Kenny.
Okay. Do wait till you try number 6.
Number 6 is it?
Perfect.
That actually doesn't sound bad.
Can you toss me a little bottle of juice right there, bud?
Yep.
Number 2?
Yes.
So,
Such an interesting concept here. I've never seen this before.
What, taste testing?
Yeah.
Oh.
I
See what people want, you know?
I'm friends with a shop, the owners of a shop out by us. So we're from Princeton, LaSalle area.
Okay.
And they usually do it after hours. So I have a couple friends stick around
yeah.
and try some juice, but I've never seen the scorecard set up like this.
Well, yeah, I mean, you need to know what your clientele actually likes. So you can bring in stuff. That one, it's okay, it's a 3 to 2. what I'm not looking for in track.
Yeah,
That
it
donut?
Yeah.
wasn't as good as what the stuff that I had.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good.
Well, I'm not a big peanut butter fan. You already know that, so.
I'm not, I can't remember. 15 flavors or something, so.
It's always the aftertaste.
You better hit that like 4 more.
I always hit it at least 2 to 3 times. I'm not looking for
Alright guys, so welcome back to another Cloud Nut episode. What we're going to do today is we're actually going to interview the people that work and also own QC Vapes over here. Do you actually own or are you actually just
Kind of part, yeah.
kind of part of the membership? Alright, so my name's Travis.
James.
James?
Davis.
James Davis over here. So what truly got you started into vaping?
My dad bought me a setup for my birthday, kind of out of the blue. And he, I didn't want one. The thing is, like, I didn't want to be like that guy. Like, I was going to bars and stuff still a lot back then. And, I didn't want to be that guy at the bar that was just, like, sneaking, like, little puffs off of his
Right.
little pen, or whatever.
Right.
And, he bought me like a simple setup. It was a I Taste VV and a Kanger Pro Tank Mini 2.
Oh, the protein base.
Yeah. So, and it was great. I started on like 18 milligram juice and kind of like skipped around to a bunch of juices. It took me like a month and a half or so. And then once I got through, I found one juice that worked for me, and that's actually how I quit smoking. It wasn't really. It hardly had anything to do with the nicotine or like the device or the flavor itself. It was like, it didn't taste anything like my cigarettes, but it was, it just made my mouth feel like my cigarettes did. So
I see.
that was my trigger.
Kind of the great punch of it.
It was like it made my mouth water like the same way the cigarettes did. Like,
Right.
so it does something to my tongue. I don't know how else to explain
It's really
it.
hard to explain. Don't worry.
Yeah, but that was actually the trick for me to quit smoking.
Right. So go ahead and take a look around the shop. And what's really crazy about the shop is not only is it just strictly pretty much vape, it has a very homey feeling. But pretty much as you guys can tell, this shop is very different. It doesn't matter where you go, this shop will pretty much set the standards for most of the shops in here, as you probably say, right?
Well,
You pretty much set the bar.
That's been our goal. I mean, there have been certain things that we've kind of set aside or like put on the back burner. Like, we don't carry everything there is to carry. We don't carry like every product on the market because we try most of the products on the market. But if we get a sample unit of like some little box mod or something like that, and it stops working within 2 days for no apparent reason. I mean, there's no like juice leaking or anything, nothing like that. If there's no good reason, then we're not going to carry it.
So pretty much what you guys do is that that's a portion that sets you away from any other vape shop. You don't just carry the new flaky thing. You actually try them out and you put through a couple tests of your own, pretty much.
Yeah,
nothing
definitely.
too crazy.
Well, I mean, like the Raylux, RX 200. We've got one that we've been trying for a couple weeks now, and we really like it, and we want to carry them. We're just looking for a good like source of distribution.
Right. And to me, not only that, too, it's more of like an outlet. Even though I had all the neck mods, I had the box mods. I always had that, but to me, I feel like that's pretty much an upgrade. Another portion too is that I was talking to Mike. Sorry, Mike. I was talking to Mike over here, and you guys go ahead and send him to like a source, not say a source or anything like that. You guys send him to a source to where you guys like basically make sure it's safe to use that, right?
Well, our sources do that already. Yeah.
So your sources are.
Yeah, we don't really, we won't carry a juice that can't provide paperwork on like lab results regarding what their juice is comprised of. Like, and so you know, if there is, you know, the diacetyl or like the, you know, everybody talks about like diacetyl and acetylpropanol and all
Right,
that,
the
you know,
whole
like popcorn lung, yeah. So those two ingredients, I mean, if there are trace amounts, we'll let people know before we sell them something. But currently, we don't have anything in our lineup that has even a trace amount of either of those ingredients. So, and the companies are doing a good job of like finding ways around including those because it's really just like bad for business, you know. You know, it's bad PR, you know.
Another portion I want to touch upon is like how you guys pretty much started this whole shop. I mean, my God, how do you go from a room to just basically balls to the walls?
Well, so we got that room. It was very inexpensive. My dad was just a firm believer in vaping. He quit overnight. He started in March of 2013, and a buddy of his that he worked with at the time gave him a vape, like a really simple setup, and like that night he threw all his cigarettes away and was like ordering like a Provari and like some like really nice tank or something. You know, back then it was a really nice tank, and yeah, it's like some. It could have been a Kanger, actually, but I think it was like a split fire, which like had two like juice chambers or something. It was a really weird tank, but so he, you know, wanted to open a vape shop, and we backed him. And so when it came time to start looking for property, we settled on this. It was rough, you know. It was an old iWireless, so like all the walls were like bright green, and we painted it for a long time. I think I put like 5 or 6 coats of paint on the walls in there, and we put new baseboards in, or replaced a couple ceiling tiles, and just tried to kind of pretty it up. And we did that for probably like, well, about like almost a year and a half. We were in that space. And we got to a point where we had like 20 or 25 people standing like, you know, shoulder to shoulder. You know, like you couldn't even see like 5 feet from you because it was just so vaped out, you know. And so there were some problems with that, you know. We had one really crappy futon to sit on, you know, and then 2 like stationary chairs that you could just sit in, you know. So it wasn't really like friendly to having a lot of people, a lot of traffic at once. So this place opened up for lease. I want to say like in October of last year or something, and we jumped on it. And our you know, property manager was cool with us knocking a big hole in the wall and just making it one kind of cohesive space. So we basically, you know, something that I've seen a lot of vape shop owners do is, you know, like somebody will open a vape shop, you know, and they'll see a lot of success, and all of a sudden, like the owner's driving like a really, really nice car, and like, you know, they like their house is paid off, and, you know, like, sweet, just living the good life, you know. So we put a lot of that money back into the shop.
Right, and that's pretty much the thing too. And not only that, I noticed with you guys just kind of sitting around for a little bit, you guys' customer service is pretty much top notch as well.
Thanks,
Mike over here, I almost called him Mark. That would have been.
You can call him Mark.
See you, Tony. Take it easy, guys. One thing I noticed too is that you guys actually, when you buy a whole new device, you guys will go ahead and sit down over here or even in the lounge to pretty much show almost every detail.
Well, that's been an important thing from day one. You know, when I started with this whole thing, you know, I was like the sole employee, and I basically knew nothing about vaping. So I was standing behind the counter. We had products on the shelf, and I'm like freaking out because we're selling stuff, and I'm like, what is it? I don't even know what that does, you know, like I don't know what that's used for. So people would come in and kind of like educate me. But I worked for Verizon Wireless as a tech and then a sales rep for like 7 years, and with that background, like I was basically trained to just help people from step 1 to step Z, you know, whatever.
Right.
And
Every single step.
yeah, so you know, I want people, like we've always wanted people to know exactly what they're dealing with. You know, as soon as they buy something. I mean, if they're willing to like become a customer and and spend money here, then we're absolutely going to treat them, with the respect that they deserve.
One of your
you know.
family members, basically.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I think
Right
that,
on 117.
I mean, it's just, it's unacceptable to me
Yeah, that's good.
for like somebody to come in to any vape shop and I've heard horror stories where like I know a guy that came in with a mech mod setup and he had been sold an RVA of some kind and it was like what was it? It was like it was a Hades, like a Hades clone. Yeah. 26650, Hades, and I think he had like a oh god, what is that freaking thing called? It starts with a K. K-Fun, yeah. It starts with a K. He and they basically they sold him everything he needed, and then they said, well, that's everything you need. Good luck. YouTube.
Pushing the YouTube. Pushing the YouTube instruments.
Yeah, so yeah, here, Rip Trippers. Just like good luck.
Right.
So we really we actually let a person go for doing that one time.
Right. I see.
And it became a pattern, but
Right.
it was like it's just unacceptable, like
Exactly.
these people. You're starting to see it on Facebook where people are like in comas or whatever, and like being hospitalized because they're trying to build these
Crazy things just for no apparent reason.
Yeah, I followed all the directions, like, come on, man, like, go to a vape shop, like, get some expertise, to show you the way, and then get some experience under your belt actually turning the screws yourself. Right, so, I know a lot of us didn't have that luxury, but we totally, we followed all of the safety guidelines, and we had a background in like handheld electronics and messing with these things safely. So we took way more precautions back then than we do now because we know that it's actually safe,
Right.
To run without these certain precautions like wearing a static pin and stuff like that. We didn't know. So and there wasn't a lot of documentation available back then. You really had to dig. Reddit was a good source back then, but
Reddit seems to be a lot of sources. All right. So another part that you kind of mentioned a little bit back ago was when we weren't filming is like the cleanliness. Is like, how do you prefer that? Do you want?
Well, I've been in shops where they have like the bowl of tester, like condoms or
Right.
and like you just grab one, like it kind of is it's kind of gross, I think,
Right.
I've totally pulled up like to stoplights where people are like picking their nose. Yeah, and I'm like, I wonder if he's going to a vape shop to try this, so that kind of bred a lot of the ways that we do things, like a lot of the methods we use to try and stay on top of like cleanliness. I mean, we have like like weekly things that we clean, and we stay on top of that. We clean the displays as often as we can. Which is often.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but there are shops that completely neglect that stuff. I mean,
It's kind of weird. It is kind of weird.
yeah.
But yeah, pretty much goosey vapes, guys. And unless you have anything else you want to talk about?
Not really.
Not really.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, you're on the hot spot at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, my name's Travis and
James.
James. And what we like to do at the end of the episode is pretty much cheers and pretty much cloud with it, pretty much.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
the reason why
with
we're
that.
calling cloud on us.
Sweet, man.
Yeah. Me, I don't know. I'm sorry.
James.
James. Me and
Sorry.
James over here. Hope you guys stick with another episode, but we're gonna cloud it out.